Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy to be able to be with you here today as we are doing this Lenten devotional. My name is Evan Smith. I'm the pastor at Second Presbyterian Church here in downtown Stanton. And today we're looking in the Gospel of Luke, the 11th chapter, in verses 29 to 32, and some often overlooked words of Jesus. It says, when the crowds were increasing, Jesus began to say, "This generation is an evil generation. It asks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except the sign of Jonah. For just as Jonah became a sign to the people of Nineveh, so the Son of Man will be to this generation. The Queen of the South will rise at the judgment with the people of this generation and condemn them, because she came from the ends of the earth to know she came from the ends of the earth to listen to the wisdom of Solomon and see something greater than Solomon is here. The people of Nineveh will rise up at the judgment with this generation and condemn it, because they repented at the proclamation of Jonah, and see something greater than Jonah is here." See, all the crowds were coming out to Jesus because they'd heard that he was this miracle worker, and they came to him almost more like a sideshow attraction. They were coming to Jesus not out of any adoration, not out of a desire to follow him or really change, but just for the benefit of Jesus. In this case, it may have been their own amusement, a desire to have their wonder, stimulated, to say, "Oh my goodness, how is he doing that trick, that healing? It must be a trick, right?" And so Jesus questions them, and he says, this is an evil generation. And he talks about, no sign's going to be given to them except the sign of Jonah. The sign of Jonah is he was in the belly of the whale 3 days and then came out. And so that's an allusion to Jesus' resurrection. But ultimately, what Jesus is bringing up here is the question of why people come to Jesus, why people go to God. Do we go to God because of what we hope to gain, so we're coming to God on our own terms? Or do we go to God because we love God and want to serve God and want to be a part of what God is doing in his kingdom? There's an expression that speaks to this. It's this idea of, do we seek God for his hand, that being what he can give, or for his face, that being who he is? You see, I think a lot of times as we come to faith, we automatically seek God, whether we mean to or not, for his hand. We experience grace, we experience forgiveness, we experience love, and so of course we experience the hand of God, the benefit of God. But the point of the hand is to lead us to the face, so that we can adore God for who God is, just because we love God and want to be a part of God's kingdom and what God's doing, and we respond with love. We respond to God's love with our love, and then the benefits of God become not the way he blesses us with any sort of idea of possessions that people may think of, or good fortune or whatnot, but the blessing of God becomes just simply enjoying God for who God is. And so a lot of times what happens to folks is, after they've come to faith, God seems to back off in his presence a little bit, to see, is this person following me because of the benefits or because they love me? And we may experience that as a time of in the desert, a time of spiritual drought, or whatever else it is. And that occurs in the ebb and flow, the up and down of spiritual life a lot of times. There may be these moments of dryness where we feel like we can't feel God, or God isn't present. And these things, they're not God abandoning us. They're an invitation from God to learn to love God for who he is, for his face, and not just for what he's going to give. And so my hope is, during this Lenten journey, as you are hopefully taking some time to pray a bit more, maybe you're abstaining from some things, whatever else, that you will continue to do this, whether you feel like you're experiencing a spiritual benefit from it or not, because God may be drawing you in to a deeper time to know him and to love him for who he is, and not for what he will give, not for some sign as the crowds are following Jesus to receive and to see, but instead just to love God for who he is. And that's the word for today. I hope that you have a great day. If you enjoyed this, please click the like button, maybe even share it on your own page. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, and bye.